In Nutri-Snack Kitchen today, I am making lasagna. This is a very special recipe that came to me from a friend who took it from somebody else. So it does need some special ingredients. I would need 5-6 big tomatoes, 2 to 3 courgettes depending on their size, 1 garlic bulb. I will need some olive oil, pepper, salt. There are 3 different cheese. You have to have them to get the exact taste. These are mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, and mascarpone cheese. And I'm also using fresh lasagna sheets. You can find them in the fridge aisle in a supermarket. I've got about half a kilo of keema here, lamb keema. You can get these cheese easily from any supermarket. To begin, I will be chopping up tomatoes and taking the seeds out. It's just the seeds got a lot of water, so we don't want that in our recipe. I am cutting them in big chunks. I will be putting them in an oven-proof dish. This is the dish where I will be layering all the lasagna. All tomato chunks are in the dish and I am working with my garlic now. I took 2-3 garlic cloves and minced them. Adding garlic into tomatoes and going to just give a quick mix. I just added about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and a little bit of salt and freshly ground pepper. I'm putting it in preheated oven for about 10-15 minutes. Now to cook keema, I took a few garlic cloves and minced them. So first I'm heating this pan and then adding 2-3 spoons of olive oil. This is an old-fashioned way of making a pan non-stick before cooking. I'm adding about a teaspoon of cumin seed, also called zira, and I'm adding half a teaspoon of flake chilies. Once fragranced, adding garlic. Once garlic has browned a little, I am adding keema, minced meat. Adding in a teaspoon of salt. And some freshly ground pepper. So I've left the keema to cook whilst I'm working with courgettes. Here I'm going to thinly slice them. In a fry pan, once it's heated, I've added a little bit of olive oil in this I'm going to be adding courgettes. There are two ways of doing courgettes. You could do it like I did in the fry pan, or you can also do it in a oven proof dish and leave it in the oven whilst tomatoes are softening. Covering them so they can steam cook, and also checking on keema at this point. It is roasting really nicely. I'm just gonna give a few more minutes. In the meantime, I am checking on tomatoes and just going to press them with spatula. I'm putting these tomatoes back in the oven and checking on courgettes. It's been 5 to 10 minutes and they have roasted really nicely. It's so funny that I've got 3 different spatulas, one for tomatoes, one for courgette and one for keema. This is the pasta sauce I'm using, but you can use anything that you normally use for preparing pasta. The keema have roasted really well and there is no water left. I will be adding little bit at a time. If it was this small jar, I would have used it all, but because this was a very big jar, so I was just testing how much I need. So this is the consistency you're looking at. At this point, I have taken tomatoes out of the oven and I'm going to assemble all the ingredients here now. Starting with fresh lasagna sheet. These do not need to be boiled, so they need to go just straight from the packet. Adding mascarpone cheese. Because the cheese is a little bit hard to apply, what I've done is use the oven heat. I'm going to dollop it in few places and put it in the oven, and the oven heat will soften it. It literally needs just 1 minute in the oven and then it's easy to spread. Now adding courgettes. All of them would go. Once they nicely spread, I'm going to sprinkle grated mozzarella. I will need half of the packet at this point because I will be using the half on top. Now the second layer of lasagna goes on top. There goes keema, which is lamb mince cooked in pasta sauce. Another layer of lasagna sheet go on top. Then I'm going to add rest of the mascarpone cheese. Basically 1 tub of mascarpone cheese is enough for the recipe. Half I added before and half now. And just like before, I have used oven heat to spread mascarpone cheese. And on mascarpone cheese, mozzarella cheese will go. And this is the final point where we are putting all 3 cheese on top of each other: mascarpone, mozzarella and Parmesan. With Parmesan, I'm only going to sprinkle a little, don't want it to be overpowering. And there is all the assembly is complete. It's going in the oven for about 30 minutes on full heat. The leftover part of tomatoes I am going to freeze in a freezer bag to use next time I make salad. Here it is after about 30 to 40 minutes. When it started browning, I've taken it out of oven and it's ready to eat. This is one of the most delicious lasagna I've ever eaten. This is very old recipe and I've repeatedly made exactly the same way without any change. The whole family loves it. If you make this recipe, please let me know in the comment section and also tag me on my Instagram page. Thank you for watching.